Okay, so in this lesson, we're going to look at specifically the D's. But here's a very useful little illustration that is in the Moodle notes, actually. It's one of the other links. But this helps you determine the order in which you go to each sublevel. So for example, you start off with the 1S's. Then you go to the 2S's. After you're done the 2S's, you go to the 2P's, and then you go to the 3S's. Then you go to the 3P's and then the 4S's. And then something weird happens. Instead of going to the 4P's next, you actually go into what are known as the 3D's, which is what we're going to get to today. And then you go into the 4P's, the 5S's, then the 4D's, the 5P's, so on and so on. So you're going to see this here right now. We are going to deal with the D's. Here's the most important thing about the D's. Even though they start in the 4th period, see 1, 2, 3, 4, you always write them one level, I guess you technically would say higher, because it's like even though this is the 4th period, we pretend it's the 3rd period. So another way to say is just whatever period they're in, subtract 1 from that period number. So even though this is the 4th period, this is the 3D's. Even though this is the 6th period, these are the 5D's. So let's just do 2 examples to get the hang of this, because it's pretty much more of the same. The only trick is, remember, to subtract 1 from the period number. So there we go. Let's do the electron configuration for Ti. Let's do the electron configuration for Ti, which is right there. Titanium, Ti. To do that, we first have to get through all of period 1, all of period 2, all of period 3. So, we should know how to do that by now. So that's 1s2, which I'm going to zoom out so I can do my superscripts here, my exponents. Whoop, wrong button. 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, so I went through. That's all the first row, all the second row. Now I'm into the third row. 3s2, I went through both of the s's in the third. 3p6, okay, so that's all the first row, all the second row, all the third row. Now we're going to slow down. Now I'm into the 4th row. So I start with the 4s's. 4s, I went through both of the s's. So that would be s2. But now here's where it gets a little tricky. Now I enter the d's. And even though this is the 4th period, I'm going to write 3. Then I'm going to put my D, and then how far into the D's is titanium? It's 2. So it would be 3D2. So titanium's electron configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, 3d2. So again, it goes 1s's, then the 2s's, then the 2p's, the 3p's, the 4s's, and then once you get past the 4s, then you enter the d's, it goes back to the 3rd. So you say 3d, then we'll go back into the 4th of the p's. So very important you remember. Whoops. The s's and the p's, whatever period you're in, that's going to be the exact same. So again, if you're in the 1st period, it's 1s's. If you're in the 3rd period, you have 3s's and 3p's. But once you get to the 4th period, the s's stay 4, but the d's are 1 less. So you say 3d whatever if you're in the 4th. Now, let's do another one. Let's do one that's over here in the p's. Let's just do, where'd my thing go? There it is. Let's do tin, which is Sn. Sn. It's right here in the 5th. And it's in the p's. So that would be tin, T-I-N-S-N. Okay. And I'm going to keep this actually down here because I pretty much have to do all those anyways. So expand this out. So tin it's in the fifth period. So I got to go through all of row 1, which is 1s2. I got to go through all of row or period 2, which is 2s2, 2p6. I got to go through all of the third period, which is 3s2, 3p, 3s2, 3p6. Now I'm in the fourth. I went through both of the 4s's, 4s2. I went through all of the d's. Now, how many d's are there? Let's count. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that would be D10. Oops, I need to put my superscript on. D10. Then, once I get through the 3 D's, I'm back into the P's again, and it's still the fourth. So I put 4P. I went through all 6 of them. 4P6. Then I enter the fifth period, which is where 10 is. So I write 5. I went through both of the S's. 5S, 2. Now I enter the D's, and even though this is the fifth period, I write the D's as if it was the fourth. So I put 4D. I went through all 10 of them. D10. And now I'm I'm still in the fifth period, but now I'm in the P's, and the P's still say 5. So I say 5P, and how far over is SN10? It's 2 over. I just have a odd curiosity of always doing 2 over for some reason, whatever. 5P2. So again, the whole goal, the whole thing I want you to get out of the D's is that you always have to write them one level higher, or another way of saying that is one level higher, is to say you take whatever period they're in and subtract it from their number. So even though, again, this was the fifth period, the D's would be called 4. Even though this is the fourth period, these D's would be called 3. And when you get down to here, this is the sixth period, it's still 5. When you get down to the seventh period, it would be 6. So that's all you really got to know about the D's. So that's it. Pretty simple.